Good evening, everybody. So as I said I would, I am going to give my first impression on the personal coaching that Weight Watchers offers. I looked into it last week and I found, so basically what happened was last week I was kind of feeling down. So I was looking on Connect. I went on to the 24/7 chat, this whole thing about the pricing. So I was trying to figure out how much it was. At first it seemed like it was $59 above what my membership is. My membership I pay $45. And then I thought it was going to be $59 above that, and I was just like, oh my goodness, I'm not going to spend, over $100 just to do this personal coaching. That's way too much. But it's actually $59.95. But when you go to do it on the computer, it says $69.95, but it did end up being $59.95, so I don't know. So anyway, $59.95, so it's pretty much $15 more than what I'm paying now, but for personal coaching. So how I understand it, because I asked the person that I spoke to at the end how it works with the call. So basically, you first set up a call. You can set it up with whoever you want. At any time, you can change and get a different person. So every time you have a call, you can be talking to a different person. You can kind of go back and forth between a couple of people if you like a couple of people. So there's lots of different options as far as that goes. So pretty much you book your first meeting, which is a half an hour, and then every meeting thereafter is 15 minutes. But you can't book any meetings beyond that first one. So you book your first one, and after you do your first one, you can book 3 meetings at a time. So you can book, for instance, 3 meetings all on the same day. You can book 3 meetings for the week. You can stretch it out and do just one meeting per week, and you can do it that way, but you can only book up to 3 meetings at a time, probably to keep people from overbooking and giving everybody a chance to be able to use it. So I thought that was pretty cool. When you first start, they have you do a little assessment and just kind of asking kind of the standard things when you first join. What do you want to do? What are your motivation? Tell us a little bit about yourself. Kind of give the coach, some feedback about you. The coaches all have different, so you can, when you search for coaches, it gives you a list of recommended ones, but it also gives you a search option. And the search option, you can look by how much they lost, like if they lost like up to 20 pounds, between like 30 and 60, 75 plus. And they also give you different options, like if you're a bride-to-be, if you're a professional, if you're retired, so you can pick those options. If you have kids, if you don't have kids, if you're interested in like meal planning or walking, going to the gym. So they have lots of different options for you to choose from. One of the things I do wish they had, though, was an option is if you did Simply Filling, as coaches that were really familiar with Simply Filling. So that would be something I would like to see, but that's okay. So I had to wait an entire week, about a week, to do my first call. When I first went on there and I was looking at the coaches, one person immediately, I felt like I connected with, so I really wanted to speak with this coach first. I was bummed because this coach didn't have anything until today, or Friday originally, but by the time I actually booked, it ended up being Sunday. It was only Sunday was available. So I ordered it last Saturday and I didn't get a chance to actually use it until today. So that was a little bit of a downfall, but that's not really has anything to do with the program. It's just I wanted this particular person and they only had meetings on these particular days, so I had to kind of work around that. You also do have to book 24 hours in advance. So you can't just say, oh, in 2 hours I want to make another call. You have to book 24 hours in advance, just so you know. So that was kind of my getting started portion. I originally booked it with somebody, and then I thought to myself, I talked it over with Lauren, and I said, I really felt like I connected with this person. I really want to speak with this person. So I canceled the appointment with the other person I had, and I went to the one that originally I felt like I connected with. So here's kind of how the meeting went. I'm not really going to get into specifics, but more or less they kind of discuss the plan with you. So I feel like for members that have been there for a while, like I've been going to Weight Watchers since May of 2013. I'm very familiar with the program. I know the program. I've lost 80 pounds. I know how to use the program. So I feel like that general list of questions and the kind of prep sheet they have is more for beginning members. So I feel like they should have a plan A and a plan B, a plan A for new people and then a plan B for people that have already done the program for a significant amount of time. Because I felt like the conversation just had these little bit of awkward moments because the person would say, oh, well, you've already done this. I know you know the program. So this part doesn't really kind of apply to you because you already know it. But, let's figure out some strategies. So for that aspect, I feel like just kind of as a heads up, if you've been doing the program for a while and you're very familiar with the program, like Beyond the Scale and all that kind of stuff, the first call may seem, I don't know how to say it, it's not pointless, but it doesn't seem like it's structured to help, at least from my experience, it's not really structured to help people that have been there for a while, because for me, I'm at the point where I'm struggling to maintain motivation. I'm struggling to kind of get back on track and get back into the losing weight mode. Because, you're starting to feel comfortable, you've lost some weight, you're kind of get tired of being on the diet, even though it's not a diet. You kind of do want to feel like, okay, I've done this for so long, I kind of want to eat like everybody else, but you really can't. It's going to get you back exactly where you started. So anyway, so that's kind of my initial thought with the first kind of, first part of it. It's like I said, I feel like it's more designed for new members as opposed to members that have been there for a while. So that may seem a little bit discouraging, because I felt a little bit discouraged as I was going through. I didn't feel like I was getting a lot of support, just because the person was on a script. They were on a script, so they had to follow certain procedures. And so for me, I just was kind of a little discouraged, because I felt like even though it could apply to me, I didn't feel like I needed to go through all those things. Because they went over like food, what you do for fitness, what do you do for me time. So they pretty much, like I said, they go over food, things like that, fitness, and then me time. And then at the end, they kind of set up a plan for you for the week. And you can message them through Connect, and I'll explain that in just a moment. So the food, so as at the end, as we were making our plan, I said, well, after our discussion, actually I would like to focus on those 3 areas, something I can kind of make a goal for myself. So I did a goal for each one of those, and that was kind of my plan. So I think it was kind of good to go through that process, because it helped me decide on something to focus on for the week, kind of a plan or a goal for the week. But I would like more guidance. Like I mentioned to the person I spoke with, is I need more guidance. I'm the type of person that if somebody else tells me you should do these things, I'm more likely to do them, and I feel like I have to. Not that I have to, but I feel more motivated to do them, because I feel like I don't want to let somebody down. Whereas if I make them myself, like I say, oh, I'm going to commit to walking so many times a week, I'm less likely to do it, because I'm just disappointing myself, and I know it's stupid, but it's like, okay, whatever, not a big deal. Whereas if I feel like somebody else is saying, okay, you should do this, then I'm more likely to do it. It's kind of like the Fitbit challenges to me. It feels like that. Like you kind of have to make sure that you do those things. And then just kind of me time, thinking about things you want to do. Obviously that part is more of very specific to things you like to do. So that's my initial thought. I don't want to say the person's name, just because I don't want it to be that, oh, this person's not a good coach or anything. It is just kind of a first initial conversation. So there obviously aren't any connections just yet. I just don't want to say, again, the person I spoke to, because I don't feel like it would be fair to that person, just because, you may have a different experience than I do for the first call. Like I said, I was a little bit discouraged, but then I tried to turn it around and say, okay, I have some good things to work on. One of the things, and I would encourage, is maybe you try also, since you can have multiple, you can make multiple meetings. Some coaches only do certain days, like they only do Mondays, or they only do Saturdays and Sundays, or they only do Wednesdays and Thursdays. So they each of them have their own kind of schedule. So especially since you can book 3, I'm going to try actually booking it with a couple other coaches. I did find one that I'm familiar with, because this person has been a leader at the meeting I normally attend. So I'm looking forward to that meeting, or that personal coaching session tomorrow. I scheduled one for tomorrow. I think I scheduled one for next Tuesday, and I still have one to schedule, and I haven't decided on that one yet. But yeah, overall, I think it's a positive. I feel like it's positive so far. I don't, like I said, it's new. I only did my very first meeting, so that's just kind of my impressions initially of the program. I think the more I talk to the coach or coaches or whatever I decide on, I feel like I'll kind of get a more of a relationship with that person, and I'll be able to kind of more or less explain what it is I need from them. Whereas I think, like I said, it was very, obviously to me, it was very scripted what they have to do. So for that part, it was hard. I would just say it would be nice if they kind of had 2 plans, kind of a plan for discussing with members that have already been through the process and they understand the program, so that way it's not like rehashing it, but kind of like re-motivating them, rekindling that fire. And then of course the one for newbies. So that's my initial thought on it. Overall I did like it. I'm excited to book another call with that coach, and then of course try some other coaches. I like trying conversations with people I don't know, because I know there's some people at my meeting, the receptionists and leaders and whatnot, that do it, but I feel like maybe somebody that doesn't know me very well, not that they know me extremely well, but they might be harsh on me, which is what I need. And I don't know, maybe I also don't feel like if I don't do something, I don't want to disappoint them, and then I don't want to have to go to my meeting and be like, oh no, I didn't do that, you know what I mean? So I don't want to feel that way and then not want to go to a meeting because of that. So that's just kind of my thoughts on it. If any of you have had experience with personal coaches, let me know. Or if anybody has a personal coach they recommend, then go ahead and put that information below. Like I said, the only reason I'm not mentioning the name of the person that I spoke with today is just because I don't feel like this is, I don't feel like I'm giving a negative review, but I don't feel like I'm really praising this person, and I don't want you to perhaps have that initial spark to speak to that person and then feel like because of what I said, you don't want to speak to that person, because, you know, everybody's different, personality, conflicts, whatever. And like I said, I think this person was really good. It's just she had to stay to a script, so for me, it was kind of like, man, it's a little disheartening, but I understand if that's what you got to do, that's what you got to do. All right, I'm going to let you guys go. If you have any more questions, please feel free to leave them below, and I will answer them. Have a good day. Bye.